Kalalal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kodash, which is to say all praises to Yahweh, the true name of the Father, in the name of His Son, Yahushai, right, in the name of the Holy Spirit, which is Kodash. Right, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who will lead us and feed us in His truth through the Holy Spirit. Right, salutations to the Akim out there pushing His word in all sincerity and all truth. Peace and blessings to the elect. Right, a few sisters who are listening and learning. Shalom. Right, this lesson is going to be based on the relationship between U.S. and Europe, which has been worsening over the past few years and which continues to deteriorate according to prophecy. Right, there are several articles that I want to bring out. I won't read the entirety of the articles, but just bring out some main points from the articles, to exemplify how the relationship, the geopolitical relationship and the economic relationship between Europe and US has been deteriorating, right? And this situation with Iran, which US is pretty much pushing, a war with Iran, right? And Europe helping, Iran go around US sanctions is pretty much, breaking that friendship between Europe and the United States, right? But as you say, all of this is pretty much according to prophecy, right? And we're just gonna get into it. Hopefully this lesson is edifying, to the elect out there. All right. So the first thing we'll have is Forbes, and this article was posted yesterday, right? Washington DC, June 24th. I believe it was posted yesterday, but let's get into it. Right, it says Europe circumvents US sanctions on Iran. And if you don't know what the word circumvents means, it means to find a way around. Right, so US has found a way around US sanctions on Iran. Right, Iran has found a way of Europe has found a way of circumventing US sanctions on Iran. The governments of France, Germany, and the UK have developed a special purpose vehicle, or SPV, to enable European businesses to maintain non-dollar, and that's important right there. So they're pretty much excluding the US dollar, right, to maintain non-dollar trade with Iran without breaking US sanctions. That SPV is known as INSTEX, is now up and running. The three governments announced the successful implementation of INSTEX at a meeting of the Joint Commission of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, on June 28, 2019. The meeting was chaired on behalf of the EU by the Secretary General of the European External Action Service, Helga Schmidt, and was attended by representatives of China, France, Russia, UK, Germany, and Iran. Right, all these countries, right, are moving away from the US, particularly China and Russia, which China and Russia has bolstered their bilateral trade, right, to exclude further the use of the United States dollar, right. In a statement, Schmidt said France, Germany, and the UK informed participants that INSTEX had been made operational and available to all EU member states, and that the first transactions are being processed. Ongoing complementary cooperation with the Iranian corresponding entity, STFI, which has already been established, will speed up. They confirmed that some EU member states were in the process of joining INSTEX as shareholders, with the special purpose vehicle aimed at facilitating legitimate business with Iran. They are also working to open INSTEX to economic operators from third countries. JCPOA is better known as the Iran nuclear deal. The US unilaterally withdrew from the JCPOA in May 2018 when it reimposed sanctions on Iran's oil export sector. But other countries, including EU member states, have so far declined to follow suit. They claim that Iran is complying with the terms of the deal, and the US's decision to reimpose sanctions were unjustified. Right? So all these different things are causing a conflict of interest between Europe and America, right? So let's get into the other article. This one here is from Newsweek, also posted yesterday. US loses allies on Iran as Europe launches system to avoid sanctions. So that's pretty much what we've just read, but let's just read a brief part of this article. The European Union has officially launched a special trade vehicle designed to allow limited trade with Iran, while at the same time avoiding sanctions with the United States. Right, so it's pretty much what we've just gone into, right? But it's pretty much further showing you, right, that America is losing allies, right? America is losing allies because of its geopolitical habits, right? Specifically with the geopolitics of Donald Trump, yo, the Donald, you know, the orange president, right? His leadership and his geopolitical habits have been that of a bully, right? Even towards his own allies, yo. On numerous occasions, Donald Trump has imposed sanctions on his allies, right, since coming into office, yo. So all these different things are straining the relationships that US has boasted starting in the 1940s, coming on up, yo, after World War II, yo, right? This is from Politico, also posted, I believe yesterday, no, 26th, so a few days ago. Trump, Europe. So this is what Trump says: Europe treats us worse than China, right? Ahead of G20 meeting in Japan, Donald Trump launches a scathing attack on Europe, saying that it treats us worse than China, and that the EU antitrust chief Margaret Vestager hates the US perhaps more than any person I've ever met, right? This is a proud statement, yo. The pride of America, the scripture said, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, right? The pride of America has deceived them, yo, right? Donald Trump has this mindset that America is the greatest country that ever existed on the face of the planet, and that it is still a dominating country and that you can never fall. And because of that, they expect everybody to treat them with this special treatment, yo, this entitlement mentality, yo, and follows a lot of the Edomite Americans and even our people who live there, yo, right? This entitlement mentality has infected also our women, you know, particularly the Negro woman, yo, the Judite woman, right? It's infected the Benjamite women out here, right? It's infected the Latin tribes, the Native American tribes. This idea of entitlement, yo, right? Speaking to Fox on Wednesday, the U.S. president said that European nations were set up to take advantage of the United States. They have worse trade barriers than China, right? And that's not true, yo. That's not true. But you know what? This is all about fulfilling prophecy, yo. This is all about worsening, you know, the relationship between Europe and America, to the point where Europe will side with the enemies of America, right? And burn them with fire pertaining to prophecy, which we will get, yo. Lastly, we're going to get this article from USA Today. Trump arrives at G20 complaining about allies Germany, India, and the host, Japan. Right? Facing a G20 summit featuring meetings with rivals like China and Russia, President Donald Trump arrived on site Thursday after bashing some longtime US allies, including Japan, his summit host. Trump used a Fox Business Network interview to hit Japan and Germany over mutual defense commitments, later tweeted out criticism of India over new tariffs it has imposed on the US. Almost all countries in this world take tremendous advantage of the United States. Hey, that's a wicked statement, yo. That's a wicked and proud statement, yo. Right? When America has bombed almost every country in this earth, yo. When America has military bases set up in almost every country on the earth. When America is the only country in modern time to invade a country and forcibly implement a regime change, yo. Right? America is the only country in modern time to assassinate a world leader, right? Simply because I'm talking about Gaddafi, simply because he was coming up with the gold-backed denarii, which the North African countries were going to trade in to circumvent the US dollar, yo, right? So how can they say that all countries are take tremendous advantage of the United States when it's the US that's been doing that, yo? The US is obligated by treaty to defend Japan if it is attacked. Trump complained to Fox, but if we're attacked, Japan doesn't have to help us. They can watch it on Sony television. Right? Fucking proud, yo. Pardon my language, yo. We have been very good to our allies. No, they have not, yo. Hey, they've sanctioned their allies, yo, on more than one occasion, yo. Especially since Trump came into power, yo. We work with our allies. We take care of our allies. Right? It's all a bunch of lies, yo. Right? The very fact that your allies are leaving to go do business with your enemies proves that you're not taking care of your allies, yo. Right? Proves that you're not taking care of your friends. Hey, let's get a few scriptures. This is Revelation chapter 17. I'll start at verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth with the whores America, Mystery Babylon the Great, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, which the 10 horns are talking about the European states, yo, the original European states that formed the European Union, yo. Right? These shall hate the whore, right? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High has put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And that beast is talking about NATO, right? So NATO, right, and the 10 horns, so the EU and NATO is going to turn against America, yo, which the NATO is pretty much European, Eastern European and Western European states, including Canada and America. I believe there are other states, if I'm not mistaken, Australia is a part of NATO. I'm not sure, right? But the bulk of NATO is made up of European states, yo, both Eastern and Western European states, excluding of course Russia and anything east of Russia, right? Which, you know, Russia is the only thing east of Russia when you look at in terms of Europe. But anyways, the point is that, you know, the European states, they're gonna hate the whore, which is America, and we see that happening, right, over the past few years, yo. Right, even with the Nord Stream pipeline, you know, plan to where Russia is pretty much setting up a pipeline to serve Europe with oil, yo, and natural gas, circumventing again the U.S. Saudi Arabia alliance, right? So the Most High puts it in their heart to burn her with fire. So not only Russia and China and Iran and those countries are gonna burn America with thermonuclear fire, their allies will also do the same, yo. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. And if you look up that word confederacy, right, it's from the Hebrew barayah, right, which is H1285, barayath, covenant, alliance, pledge. And what's the alliance between them, yo? The alliance between them is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, yo. That's the alliance between America and their confederacy, yo. And there are also treaties between America and Japan. There are treaties between America and India, right? There are a lot of treaties made around the world, right, after the advent of World War II, right? But all these men of thy confederacy have what? Have brought thee even to the border. Let's read it again. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him. So all these men that were at peace with thee will deceive you. Why? Because you have not treated them as a friend, yo. Right? You've not treated them as a friend. So they have prevailed against thee, yo. They that eat thy bread, meaning they that take your aid, right? Have what? Have prevailed against thee, yo, and laid a wound under thee, because you've not treated them as a friend, right? Jeremiah 51 verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Hope for her, take balm for her pain, if so be, that she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her. So this is what the countries are saying, yo. Forsake her, yo. There's no healing America, yo. Let us go everyone to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right? So all the nations know that America is sinking, yo. Right? It's in the spirit, yo. It's in the air. America is going down, yo. Right? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? And thus this is going to be fulfilled, yo. So everyone knows is forsaking America and forming other trade deals, yo, to circumvent and go around America and cut them out of the world, yo. Right? I want to bring out that yet. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 9. And there's a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Right? So Europe, which was the friend of America, right, is now turned to enmity and strife, and they've discovered American reproach, yo. Right? Speaking about the disrespect that America extends to their allies, speaking about the broken and one-sided trade agreements that they have, the sanctions that they put on their friends. Right? Moving on. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart, yo. And your friend and America's friends are departing from them, yo. And this is why. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 22 verse 20. Whoso casteth a stone at birds, freeth them away, and he that upbraideth his friend break up friendships, yo. That's what America is doing, yo. America is casting stones at the friends, yo. right? And breaking their friendships, yo. You're going around disrespecting your allies, placing sanctions on allies, right? Threatening allies pretty much to go along with the unrighteous decrees that you're passing throughout the earth, right? You're breaking your friendships, but again, as I say, all of this, you know, is the doing of the Heavenly Father, yo. Why? Because this is Job 23:13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive from the Almighty. And America is that oppressing nation, yo, that oppress the world, yo. Still oppressing the world, yo. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. If his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. Though he heap of silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may repair it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. He buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He opened his eyes, and he is not. Terror shall take hold on him as waters, a tempest stealeth him away in the night. Right? So the Most High going to destroy America, yo. So that's pretty much what I wanted to bring in. You know, I want to bring out, hopefully this lesson was edifying. You know, I'll post the lessons in the lessons, the articles, the links to the articles in the description box, so, you know, brothers and sisters can read it. You know, and there are a bunch of other articles. You know, you just go to Google and you type in, you know, US-Europe, you know, relations, and you go to the news tab, and you see a lot of articles, yo, speaking about this, yo. So again, Kalalal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Barak Kal Akyam, Tazadakyam was a Kwanyam, Shalom.